Hey, what's going on, Fit Christians over 40? Welcome to another Friday, week number two down, 50 to go. Sounds like a lot of pressure, right? But listen, I want to make it as easy as possible. We're going into the weekend. Maybe you've already started your weekend, but that's okay. If you're catching this later down the road, if you have a question and you want to ask, even if it's after this video goes live and after I'm done, today is Fix It Friday, where I'm going to answer your questions. So if you do come on here now live and you want to ask, jump right in. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're live. Let me know if you do watch a replay. Just do a little hashtag replay so I know who's watching. It definitely helps me understand who's listening to me, who's watching. And we're going to answer some questions I posted earlier. We had a lot of activity in the group, and I'm excited. There's lots of great activity from me and from my team and even you. And I want to encourage you guys to also share inside of the group as well. Share some of your wins. Maybe you have something you have a question about. Feel free to ask. The only thing I ask is that you don't post any links in there. And of course, you're not sending people out of the group for any reason. With that said, I'm going to jump right in and answer the first question. Hey, Sandra, what's up? First question. I only saw one or two questions. Somebody just shared a little meme, it looked like. Thank you. Running on a treadmill. And then Karen asked this question. Karen Lamontag. Hopefully I pronounced it wrong. I know I pronounced it wrong. But Karen, you asked about what kind of exercises are best when you have bad knees. Even walking is difficult. Hey, what's up, Sandra? What's going on? All right, let me move this here. I'm getting a little distracted here. I sometimes take my notifications off and they were popping up, so I apologize. So she is asking me what kind of exercise are best when you have bad knees. So bad knees, it can be in a lot of different things. Bad knees, like you need surgery, like arthritis, there's all kinds of different bad knees. So depending on what like that means, I can just tell you what I see when people are talking about what exercises, let's just say arthritis, which is really a main one. And if you're coming on and you have a couple of questions, by all means, ask me your questions, your fitness questions, and I'd be happy to answer them. And I have some other ones. I have about 15 minutes or so. We'll see what we can knock out. So to answer Karen's question, well, of course, the exercises that, again, when you have bad knees, maybe if it's painful, even walking is difficult. So if you're walking, that's something we're going to need to do for the most part, right? We're going to need to be able to walk. So I would make sure is A, you get it checked, but B, also make sure you have good footwear. I know I talk to a lot of people and they tell me about how hard their knees are and how hard their joints are, and then they're walking around in a crummy pair of old shoes. So make sure you don't chintz on the shoes. Make sure you have a good pair of walking shoes or maybe a good pair of jogging shoes, something that has some good cushion. But you want to make sure that they are fitting to your foot, to the right arch. If you have extra weight on your body, those are all going to be things that are going to take into factor. As far as exercise go, though, what's really good as far as the knees, or at least the muscles supporting the knees, are any kind of isometric exercises. So let's just talk about arthritis. That's inflammation, and that is caused by a lot of repetitiveness, repetitive movement, also excess weight on your body. So one of the things to help strengthen isometrics, meaning like where you're holding, instead of doing, say, a squat, where you're going up and down and up and down and up and down, you can literally try doing something as simple as I say simple, it's still challenging, a wall sit, where you get your body propped up against the wall. That's just one example. Also, there's some other exercises as far as that you can do with resistance bands versus doing like any kind of heavy weight. So hopefully that helped. So let me see if you got any more questions. Drop them down below. Sandra, all right, I have COVID and feel like crap. I'm sorry. Sorry that you got COVID. It sounds like it's definitely going all around. The good news is, from what I've heard, as while it is pretty heavy to deal with, people are getting over it pretty fairly quickly. I have actually 4 people that are in my Inner Circle coaching program, my premium coaching program, that either are going through it or actually have already gone through that, and they're recovering better now. How can I start my weight loss journey again? I'm not in the best of health. So starting it is just taking one step forward and taking action, imperfect action. Don't try to get it all dialed in. In fact, one of the first things you can do is honestly take an inventory of what you've been doing, what you haven't been doing. Maybe start to jot down over this weekend things that you'd like to accomplish, and not to harp on the past, but maybe look at your eating habits. One of the easiest ways as far as for getting healthy on a weight loss journey is to take an inventory of how you're eating. Maybe for the next week, the first thing you do is to journal your food. It's exactly what I have my students do when they first come into my program. They actually journal their food. All right, all right, there I'm back. Okay, there was things popping up on my phone. So I'm in a small group of guys and we're doing 75 hard. I still owe one more workout. Oh, I don't have my water in front of me. And I'm doing something that's going to be very challenging for me, and I'm looking forward to do it, but I'm not. But with that, let's get back to it. But you have to start, right? Taking an action step for you, Sandra, taking an action step to start, maybe taking an inventory of what you're doing for activity. If you're not doing any exercise is going to be is better for you than no exercise at all. That could be as something as starting out as parking further away in the grocery store and walking a little bit further. Maybe doing some intentional movement outside if you're able to get on a bike, if the weather's cold, maybe going for a longer walk, depending on what that looks like. Okay, cool. Terry, hey, what's going on? One of my Inner Circle students are on here. Appreciate it. Also, Stacy's on here listening. She is also as well, and they're doing fantastic. Feel free to hit them up, ask them how well they've been doing. So you weigh 220 and 5'7". Okay, sure. Yeah, so I'm really, I've met people 220 then in 5'7", and they're not on a weight loss journey. And in fact, that's about what I weigh right now in that range, and I'm 5'11". But it just depends on as far as where your starting point is. Really, to be honest with you, it's hard to know unless I get some more information. But if you want help, that's why I'm here. Not to just share with you all this that I feel is valuable information, but also to see. I know there's maybe a lot of you that are going to wing this on your own and do this on your own, and that's great. If you guys do it on your own, I wish you all the best of luck. But if you want more of a narrowed in, like that you want to get dialed in more and be assured that you get results and you have a very clear path, that's what my Lean Body Breakthrough Premium Coaching Program is about. Yes, I am a coach. Yes, I get paid for my services to be a coach. Just want to dispel. Yes, I am a Christian coach and I run a business and I earn money to pay for the same things you do, to pay for my house and to pay for my kids' school and to pay for food on my table and for a car to drive and heat and a roof over my head, right? So just want to make that clear. If you have interest in that, just to share, because I sometimes get, oh, you're not a free coach? No, I'm not a free coach. But is this not a Christian? Yeah, like I didn't know Christians weren't able to make money. This isn't pointing in any specific direction other than to let you know that I'm here to help you. I have 27 years of experience, and right now I'm going to give you some helpful tips. With that, what do you got? How can I train for pull-ups? Okay, great question, Stacy. How can I train for pull-ups without a machine? Also, my left leg is weak with lunges and balance issue. How can I help this? All right, great question. So Stacy, and she's one of my students, so I know a little bit about her background. So if you're at the gym and you're doing, instead of a machine, at home, you can buy a band, one of those, not little mini bands, but a long exercise band, tie it around. If you have a pull-up bar at home or even at, like, say, at the playground, you can tie it around there and have it so your foot can go in and that can take some of the weight off. I know that's one of the other tips. And then I know another option is if you're at the gym, this is something that many of you can even do if you have a gym membership, is to use a Smith machine bar. And instead of it being like a pull-up bar way up high where you have to kind of get up and hold your whole body weight, is you get underneath a Smith machine where the bar is across and you lower it down and you only do part of your weight, if that makes sense. And I can actually, Stacy, since you're in the Inner Circle, I can send you some more. I can send you some of those and put those in your plan if you want those, so you know exactly how to do it. And again, you have the peace of mind. She has access because she is one of my Inner Circle students. Sandra, walking shoes do make such a difference. Absolutely. Yeah, I lived in New York City for 6 years, and the one thing I remember spending quite a bit of money on was I had multiple shoes, and I walked everywhere in New York City. And I remember when I had really poor shoes, it really bothered my feet, and that was in my 20s. So, and that was when I wasn't really even overweight at all, right? So if you're overweight and you're out of shape and you're walking around in shoes that don't give you any kind of support, you're not going to have really any luck getting any progress with any kind of walking program. But that is a good, yes, well done on there. Sandra and Sandra. Double Sandras today. All right, work 10-year-old 12 hours a day with 10-year-olds 12 hours a day in a fast-paced factory. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. Hey, best of luck to you. Let me know how that goes as well. Factory, if you're in there on your feet, running around. There's a couple of really good, New Balance makes some really good quality shoes. I don't get paid for any of this, just so you know. Hoka's are a little bit pricier, but they have a good cushion. I actually have on now. I'll just show you what I have on my feet. So if you're just wondering what the coach wears, I found these are really, I really enjoy. Oh, look, they're falling apart here. So this is a Brooks shoe. I've been walking in this shoe. I have a normal arch in my foot. You see, it actually has some good cushion. It's actually I don't want to put my mouth on it. As got actually good. I've tried the Hokas. I like those, but they kind of wore out on me. And I think maybe because I was doing wind sprints way back. Now I'm just using these for walking, and they've been really, really helpful. So with that, let's see what else. Stace, yes, love the program. He is awesome. Hey, I didn't pay her for this, but thank you for sharing that. Cool. Love my Brooks sneakers. Yeah, awesome, Jennifer. Another one of my students coming on this afternoon, and hey, I appreciate you. And they want to tell you, Jennifer's one. I shared her success. She's doing awesome. Looks like I saw your post with your mom working out. That's pretty cool. Doing a little exercise with her. But if you got any questions, 6 of you on, don't be shy. Ask. And while you're on here, and I have a few minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, I got a couple of questions that I pulled up that tend to be frequented. So I'm figuring I'd answer those for you, even if maybe you don't have them. And one of the things is working out in the morning better for you than the afternoon, or maybe better for you than the evening. And honestly, the best time to exercise is the time that you're going to do it. Like truly, the best time to exercise is the best time to exercise is the time that you're going to do it and be the most consistent doing it. So if you know you're really busy, chances are you're not going to do it in the afternoon, not on a Friday afternoon, unless you're completely dedicated and you're committed and you have a coach that's going to hold your ass, excuse the language, to the fire to do it, right? If you're on your own, you want to get it done when you know you'll be able to get it done, right? So that's the first. Working out doesn't really matter, morning, afternoon, evening. Most important that you do it. That's more important is when you do it, or that you do it, not when you do it. Number 2, should I approach my sessions with a plan, or should I just go to the gym and just kind of do a little bit of treadmill? I do a few of the machines. I ask people all the time, like Mark, I ask them all the time, well, when you go to the gym, oh, I'm currently working out. Okay, tell me a little bit of what you're doing in the gym or at home. Well, I walk on a treadmill. I got a couple of videos I do. I have a Peloton. I use that every once in a while. And, there's a yoga class at the gym, and I do that. And I would say that's the wrong way to approach your exercise plan, your workout plan. That isn't actually a plan. That's called winging it. And honestly, if you're wondering why your results are maybe not nearly as much as you see other people succeeding, it's probably because you just don't have a plan. You don't have an approach to what you're trying to achieve, and yet really maybe don't know what you need to do to get there with regarding your exercise plan. So that's another question that typically comes out regarding workouts. Now here's one more. Do I need to work out? Do I need to work out every day? So that's a question that comes up. Should I work out every day? Now, you just heard me say I'm doing a challenge. I don't typically work out every day, but I am going to be doing 2 45-minute workouts for the next 75 days. That's my commitment to me. Now, I would not recommend, especially if you're brand new to exercise and you're trying to I would not go gung-ho. But I've been consistent for the past 2 years, solid, consistently working out. When COVID hit, I was home. After that, I got back into the gym because I work out of the home, so I wanted to get out. And I've been in the gym currently for the last year. And now I am doing a 75 hard workout challenge. That is 2 45-minute workouts, 1 outdoors, 1 indoors, and that's 75 days straight. I would not probably recommend that to you. And it's don't like, wow, you're like so cool. No, I'm not. It's not to brag or anything. It's just to let you know that in order to do those types of hard things, you got to start with some of the smaller things. And working out every day, you don't need to. I say try to be active every day. Try to do something active every day. But if you're just starting out, honestly, my students, to give you an idea, do 3 to 4 workouts a week, averaging about 15 to 30 minutes. Yes, you didn't hear me right when I said that. 15 to 30 minutes. 15 to 30 minutes of exercise a day. That's it. 15 to 30 minutes. We're like, well, how can they get results? It's simple. It's called consistency. If I can get somebody to be consistent with a workout that takes them 15 to 30 minutes versus feeling like they have to get to the gym and change in and out of exercise clothes and get in and out of traffic and then wait for equipment and do all this, do you think it's going to be easier and there'll be more likelihood to be consistent if they actually have something that's going to be straightforward and they know exactly that what they're doing, how to do it, and the time it's going to take. Absolutely, 100%. Right? So, hey, what other questions you got for me? I have a few of my own, but I want to answer yours. How can I strengthen my shoulders? I need them replaced, but that's not going to happen. I'm a chicken. No, we don't want shoulder replacements. What's interesting, Terry, and she's one of my students, needing them and having them are two different things. I had my first personal training client, just to give you a little hope, is I had a client when I first moved here, and he had torn his rotator cuff and his other one was bad shape. And his doctor said, like, sounds like maybe your doctor said, you're going to need shoulder replacement. And he said, well, he's like, I don't care if so he said, you have two options. You can try to work it out on your own, or you can have shoulder replacements. And I'm sure that's probably what your doctor told you, Terry. I'm not sure, but we can connect outside on a sidebar and specifically address that challenge. I do know that when you have the right plan, I know that, and I've worked with a number of rotator cuff. I worked with a lot of golfers, and there was a lot of clients of mine, private clients that I worked with one-on-one, that were able to avoid shoulder surgery completely. Now, I'm not a magician, but I do know how the shoulder works. And I do know that a lot of times with shoulder replacements, surgeons know how to do surgery. But oftentimes, the reason why they're doing surgery is because it's just easier to go under the knife. But in actuality, it takes a year to recover from shoulder surgery. It's very hard to recover. In fact, it's way easier to put the hard work in not to have the surgery, just as my first client when I moved here who had two shoulder injuries avoided surgery altogether. And in fact, now we're 20 years later, and he just called me the other day because his wife had rotator cuff tear and he wanted me to help her with that. So moving on. So that we can do. Shoulder strengthening exercise, we can build those in, no problem there. Is it better to change your plan every other day or stay on the daily plan? Oh, good question. And I think if you're talking about exercise, I would imagine, people tend to jump on and off exercise bandwagons too soon. The way I see it is if it is not challenging you, then change it. So changing every other day is not necessary, honestly. If it means you being consistent more often, but what you don't want to have happen, I think this might be more of what your question is, Carrie. What you don't want to have happen is you're doing, even if you did change your workout every other day and you're doing the same workout, like if you're still doing the same, say, for instance, and I don't know your specific plan, but let's just say you're doing the same workout you've been doing for the last maybe 6 months, and you've been doing the same weight and the same amount of reps. Chances are, what happens, your body gets stronger to the exercise demands, whether it's walking, cardiovascular, that's the purpose, right? To improve. The purpose of exercise is to get better. The purpose of exercise, I know a lot of people tell me, well, I'm just trying to maintain. No, there's no maintaining. Your life doesn't maintain the same. It doesn't maintain itself. You get older every second. In fact, 15 minutes ago, you were 15 minutes younger. Now you're 15 minutes older. So there's no maintaining, right? So the thing that I would recommend for you, Carrie, is most importantly, just find a workout that you're going to enjoy, but it's also going to challenge you. Whether you change your workout every day or every other day or every other week or every other month, it really honestly doesn't matter. But I would recommend, if you are fairly new to exercise, you are working all of the muscles, so you benefit from getting all of the muscles working, getting them stronger, helping you if you're trying to lose weight, getting your metabolism up. Those are all going to be helpful things. Those are things that I have my students do, where we're doing compound exercises using multiple body parts, not just doing like isometrically, doing like a bicep curl, so forth and so on. Those are more advanced. Even though bicep curls doesn't sound like it's advanced, it is, because it's really just focused on one part of your body. All right, cool. What else do we got here? Hey, having a plan since I've been on your programs, really. Joanne, we got to give props to Joanne. She's always on here, always showing up. I say in a good way, always inspiring and encouraging others. And I know there's some of you guys that watch most of my content, and you know Joanne's on here, always lending a helping hand. Always, I say she's always boosting me. She makes me feel good because she's always praising the coaching program. But to be honest with you, it isn't all about me. It really isn't. Honestly, what it comes down to are people like Joanne who want to change, who want to get better, who don't want to stay stuck, maybe being not maximizing their full potential. I can tell you it's a delight to have people like Joanne in my program and a lot of other students just like her in my program who are not only like leveling up their lives, but they're stepping out of their comfort zone. Like, here's the reason why a lot of people stay out of shape and they stay overweight and they stay stuck. It's because it's comfortable. You know, despite even going to a doctor telling them that you're on medication, that you have to go on medication, or going to a doctor is telling you you better lose weight or you're going to have some problems, it's still more comfortable just to go on the medication and sit at home and do nothing about your health versus take an action step and take actually the initiative that you need to do the work that you need. Here's the beautiful part about exercise and even fitness and even weight loss, getting off the weight loss journey, is that it is hard, but it's kind of like if I just handed you the magic pill to get in better shape, do you really think you'd appreciate it? Like, let's just be honest with each other. Do you think if I had this little magic pill that I could just sell to everyone, right? Everybody talks about these magic diet pills and fat burner pills. Do you think if those actually worked, do you think I'd even have a coaching program? No, because people would all be doing that. But I would say is when people have had enough of going down that path, right? But it usually ends up on the kind of at the starting line of the same path that they're on. And versus getting on a path where you're surrounded by amazing people like Joanne and Stacy, and who else is on here, and Terry and Jennifer and other people that, you know, are truly like stepping up out, not just out of their comfort zone, but getting the help that they need, investing in themselves, right? Saying, you know what, not only am I worth it, I'm going to make the effort to get and really make the best of it, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. The reality is we don't know if we have tomorrow. All right. And the easy answer sometimes could be, well, why should I even bother if I don't know tomorrow? As well, what if you have another 20 years? What if you live to 100? Do you want to be chasing your weight loss the whole time? Or do you want to get off that weight loss journey and get on the life journey so you can live the life that you want to live? You can do the things that you want to do. You can wear the clothes that you want to wear. You can enjoy the delicious foods on vacation or on a cruise or on an anniversary that you want to enjoy. You can go and do the things that are truly right there in your hand, ready to take, right? But again, it takes action. No, the hardest part about being fit and about even losing weight, nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. No coach I can't do it. I didn't do it for Joanne. I'm not doing it for Stacy. I didn't do it for Jennifer. I'm not doing it for Sandra. I'm not doing it for any Jennifer. I'm not doing it for Stacy. I think I said Stacy. I'm not doing it for Kara. I'm not doing it for any of you. You have to do the work. But it's a whole lot harder trying to do the work on your own than it is to actually be in a program and to actually have a coach that's done it hundreds of times before. And listen, I come on here because I'm on a mission to help 200 people this year. Like, I want 200 people in my program this year, and I want to help them get off the weight loss journey, and I want to help them take back their life, and I want to help them be able to do what they want to do and wear the clothes they want to wear, and have the confidence that they want to truly have, and be the kind of man or woman that God's created them to be, not just kind of sitting on the sidelines letting life go by. God didn't create you to let life go by. He created you to live life, right? And to enjoy life to its fullest. I believe so. I mean, maybe if you don't, maybe you don't. Maybe you feel like, well, I've gotten a bad hand. Well, I know a lot of people in my program that also got dealt a bad hand. And you know what? They're saying, I want a new hand. Can we just have a new hand? It's time for a new hand. I'm ready for a new hand. Let's try to do this now. I'm ready for a new approach. I'm ready to become a new person. I'm ready to work on the things that I need to, maybe mindset as well as my body in the same time. And I'm ready to move forward into 2022. People like Joanne who are ready, and Stacy who is ready, and Terry who is ready, and Jennifer who is ready, and a number of the rest of you guys. And there's a few of you sitting on the fence now, and that's totally cool. Take the time that you need. If you need another year or two, I can't say for sure I'll be doing this for another year or two. Who knows if God's going to keep me for a year or two longer? Hopefully, I hope so. But I can tell you there's going to be 200 people this year whose lives are going to get transformed. If you want to be one of them, reach out to me. Now, listen, I don't know if there's any other questions. Hey, what's up, Elaine? Elaine crushing it as well. Here's one or two more, and then I got to run. I gave you a little bit more time. You asked the variance workout. So that was one of my questions, one of the most common questions. Okay, as far as, oh, this one's great. What type of training do I need to do to lose weight? That's a question that comes up often. What kind of training do I need to do to lose weight? And you need to do training that's going to not distract you from what you do in the kitchen, right? So listen to me when I say that again. What kind of training do I need to do to lose weight? You need to do training that's not going to distract you away from what you need to do in the kitchen. Because when it comes to weight loss, exercise is a component. Exercise is not going to get the weight off by itself. In fact, using exercise as the only means to lose weight is a terrible way to lose weight. Because the problem with exercise, the more you do it, the harder you do it, the more hungry you get. It's just a reality for the most part. But I would say is the key is to have the right combination. What my program works on is the right combination of exercise and eating habits. Exercise and eating habits. And how do you put those two together? From support. We have our 3 F's in our program. It's food, it's fitness, and it's family. So the food part's pretty straightforward. The food part is I want people to eat real food. Carbs included in my program, no dieting. I want people to drink water. Excuse me, that's part of the program. I also want people to understand what proteins are and fats are and carbohydrates are and vegetables are, because they're all very valuable things that our body needs. If they weren't valuable, then they wouldn't be foods, right? So that's pretty straightforward. So the food part, the fitness part, we already talked about that. Straightforward, simple approach, 15 to 30-minute workouts. The average is about 20 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. And then having it all mapped out with you so you just have peace of mind and go do the workouts. That's the fitness part. And then the family part, what you're seeing right here. Right here, Elaine and Stacy, they're in my inner circle, and Joanne, and I'd mentioned, and Terry and Jennifer, and who else is on here? Anyway, other than that, and hey, what's going on? And I don't know if there's anybody else. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Training is half, diet is the other half. Yeah, I wish it was as easy as that, to be honest with you. Most of the time, you're right in a sense that exercise is really the key to keeping weight off. So you're right in a sense as far as half the battle, but honestly, it's really, food is really 90% of the battle. It really is like 100% and 100%. In the 50-50, 100% meaning when you get to understand that food is just as important for your exercise as exercise is important for your eating habits, when you can get that kind of connected versus putting them in 2 separate boxes, then it is something that is a beautiful sight to see. And I see it in a program, which is amazing. So anyway, I think that's all I have. I had a few more in here. Let me go one more. I got one more minute. I got a call in a few minutes here. Here's a great one. What's the best way to help sore muscles? Right? Sore muscles. So this is a question that comes up often. Maybe you have this question. So it depends on how the soreness comes. If you're just getting started on a workout plan and the soreness is something you felt because you're getting back into it new, you're probably doing a little too much too soon. A little soreness is okay. A little pain is okay. A little bit of muscle soreness. Not like pains where you can't get out of bed and walk, but a little bit of soreness. But what's the best way to help that soreness? Well, one of the things we utilize in our program are foam rollers, any kind of soft tissue we have. I have an approach, and for my students, they get a plan with a foam roller routine as well as a stretching routine, an exercise routine, et cetera, et cetera. But also foam rollers are great. It's pretty much like a poor man's massage tool. That's helpful for sore muscles. Also, Epsom salt baths are as well. They're packed with magnesium and great. They can definitely help with relaxing your muscles. Self-massage. I go to a massage. I get a massage every 2 weeks. And that's been like, and it sounds like it's a privilege to do that, or like a luxury, not a privilege, a luxury to do that. It really isn't. It honestly has helped me to take my fitness to another level. And that's something that, fortunately for me, I've been able to work that into my plan and my budget. And I go there usually twice a month to help kind of work out those muscles. But if you're just starting out, honestly, just making sure that you don't overdo it and you make sure you're drinking plenty of water, hydration. You're also fueling your muscles properly. And some Epsom salt baths are always helpful. We don't have a bath anymore here. We got rid of our last bathtub. Now we only have showers. And so we don't have the access to take a bath. But if you do, Epsom salt baths are phenomenal for that. And I think that's all I have for today. I hope this helped. Listen, if you caught this on a replay, and you have a question and you want to drop that down below, I'll do my best. I have a couple more calls today, and I got to check in with my coaching students. And listen, I am on a path. I'll mention it one last time. I am on a path to help 200 men or women. Doesn't matter to me, men or women, over 40. So again, if you're over 40, if you're over 50, heck, if you're over 60, it's never too late. You're not too old, and it's not too late. You can start today. The good news is all you need to do is take action. But again, if you don't know how to start, if you don't know how to get the weight off, if you've been struggling your whole life, maybe this is the message you need to hear. It's time for you to take a different course of action. Maybe it's time that you don't move forward and wing it on your own. Maybe it's that you don't just play the guessing game. Maybe it's time that you don't go back to those pills, those fat burners, or go back on Weight Watchers, or go back on keto, or go back to intermittent fasting, or go back to that gym membership, or go back to that YouTube video, or go back to buying another Peloton, or go back to whatever. You can fill in the blank. It's endless, right? The Nutrisystems, or go back on Optavia, or go back on. Those are all good tools. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking them. They're all helpful tools, but they're tools. None of those are solutions. And you're like, well, Mark, what? The question now, well, what makes yours a solution? Well, it's simple. Mine are none of those. Mine are different. My approach is different. My approach is different in the sense that you're going to learn. Most of those programs don't teach you. They just give you something. They give you potions, pills, form, like all that stuff. Now, I provide for you and equip you with what you need so that you can get off the weight loss journey, right? And that you don't rely on pills, potions, or junky packaged foods or any of that kind of nonsense, or gimmicky things where they take whole food groups out or tell you can only eat 500 calories and put these drops under your tongue. That's all nonsense. You know that. I know that. Don't let people take any more of your money, right? Realize that you can get off the weight loss journey if you take a different approach. Now, I'm looking for 200. There's almost 5,000 people in this group. There's 5 people watching right now, right? That's a very small percentage. I only need 1 or 2 of you to reach out to me today. And I have a few spots. I can only take in a certain amount each month. And we have some people that are coming in. We have an amazing group on the inside ready to welcome you. But the only way to know for sure is if you get on a call with me or one of my team members, Elaine, who's in here. She's in the group. You see Faye's in there, Tara as well. I have a team of people, my team, that I trust fully to help you, to move you forward, to see whether or not we're a good fit first. Because I don't know, if you're not committed, we're probably not going to be a good fit for each other. My program, no matter how good it is, it won't work if you're not committed. Like my program won't work if you're not willing to at least do a few workouts a week, 3 to 4 times a week, that I give to you everything you need. If you're not willing to make some changes, chances are I probably can't help you, right? So unfortunately, maybe another group would be better off, suited for you and for whatever you're trying to look for. But if you're looking for a solution, if you're looking to get off the weight loss journey, if you want freedom back in your life, freedom in your body, freedom in your confidence, freedom in your mindset, freedom in the way you look and feel in a pair of clothing or without clothing, right? Hint, hint, hint. Like I know I don't talk about this much, but I can tell you there's something to be said about getting in great shape and then having those, having the ability to have that confidence back in the bedroom with your spouse, right? That's something to be said. Or on a vacation when you're in a bathing suit together, enjoying romantic times, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's something awesome. But if you feel miserable, like now's the time to take action. Don't wait until you're in a nursing home 90 years old and it's too late and you're just having regrets. So anyway, I got to run. Hope this helped. And again, drop it down below. And listen, I know you can't share this out of the group, but you can certainly drop your thoughts in there. I love your comments. Also, again, let's get this stirred up. If you're coming in later to watch this, if you have any more questions, drop them in. I'll try to answer those later. And hope this helped. Happy Friday and happy week number 2. 50 more weeks to go. How are you going to spend them?